Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Monica. I like to post anti-MLMs, that's anti-multi-level marketing, and some true crime content here on this channel. So if any of that interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around. Today's video, I'm very nervous about this video. And I have been keeping a secret from all of you who watch my videos, who follow me on social media, all of that. So the secret is that I'm pregnant. I know that I always said on my channel that I don't want children, but if it happens, it happens. Well, it happened, and I am currently, I'll be 22 weeks tomorrow. So I have been keeping this secret for a little bit. The only reason why I didn't come out and talk about it after, I guess, the first trimester, how people normally talk about it, and that's kind of when you really announce it. A lot of people have been asking me, a lot of people that know, because people in my personal life or my private life, along with my channel members and my patrons. So before I get into all of everything, I just wanted to say thank you so much to all of you who kept this secret for so long, because I did tell my patrons and my channel members when I was in the first trimester. I'm sorry if you can hear zero tip tapping, but thank you for keeping this a secret, and thank you for keeping it to yourselves. They know that I was pretty nervous on announcing it to begin with. I didn't want to announce it even right now. But the problem is that I'm showing already. So if you follow me on social media, and I have a blog and everything, I've been trying to be more active with it. And it is partially a fashion and lifestyle blog. So it's starting to get very hard for me to cover up the bump. So I have no choice but to say that, yeah, I'm pregnant. I will say that the first trimester was very, very, very rough for me. The medical issues that I talked about in any posts or any videos, that's what I was talking about. I started working at our other business because, if you don't know, I know some people still get surprised when I talk about this in videos. I did announce it in a video, but we decided to shut down our one business, which was our CBD store. So I moved to our other business. That business is very busy. It's very high paced. That's what I prefer. I prefer the day going by a lot faster. But at the same time, it was kind of a little bit of a curse and a blessing, I guess you can say, because I also did not have time for YouTube as much as I did before when I was at the CBD store. Then finding out I was pregnant also took some time out of my schedule. The beginning was really rough. I was very, I guess you can say, I was very, very, very nauseous. I got sick a couple of times. I was lucky in that department. I didn't end up in the hospital with getting sick. I know some people who have ended up in the hospital because of dehydration and things like that. I was lucky in that aspect where it was just to the point where there were days where I would have to leave our business early, go home, sleep it off, or just try to lay around. But I'm still, even in the second trimester, I am still painfully tired. So that's something that I've been struggling with. But if you guys remember the accident that I got into in March, the reason why that was a very big deal was because I was already pregnant at the time. I was 6 weeks pregnant at the time. The first thought in my head after the person rear-ended me was, oh my God, the baby. That was my first thought. When I got out of the car, the guy was apologizing to me, and I don't know if it was hormones or shock or what it was, but I just kept saying, get away from me, my baby, my baby. That was just the first things that were coming out of my mouth. But on top of that, if you remember that post, I was on my way home from the emergency room. The reason why was because I thought that the pregnancy was an ectopic pregnancy. That made me really nervous. I couldn't wait until we went to the doctor for the first time. I just decided, you know what, I'll eat the cost of going to the emergency room. We're just gonna, I have to go to the emergency room. So I went, and of course I had people there with me and everything, but I went to the emergency room, found out that it was just a pre-existing condition that I have. Then everything was fine, baby was healthy, all of that. then I went to lunch with my mother-in-law because she was actually in town at the time, just to kind of calm me down. And of course, I decided to have a strawberry milkshake, and it's really important to the story. I had a strawberry milkshake and I had chicken nuggets because that's what I really wanted. That's all I wanted after I got out of the hospital. So we went out and that's what we got. I dropped my mother-in-law off at my brother and sister-in-law's house because they have kids, so that's where they usually stay whenever they come visit because they have 2 little toddlers. So I dropped her off. On my way home, I kept thinking the whole time, I can't wait to just go home, lay down, calm down, drink my strawberry milkshake. That's all I wanted to do. And then the person rear-ended me. On top of that, the way that it works here in Florida, or at least where I am in Florida, I didn't know because in Jersey, the cops are there immediately. Unless if I just got lucky where I got into my accidents, which all of my accidents were never my fault, which is the crazy part. They weren't my fault. I've gotten rear-ended so many times, probably because I drive in high traffic areas and stuff like that. But of course there was traffic, person wasn't paying attention, they rammed into my car. It took the police about 2 hours or so to finally get someone out to write up the report. On top of that, they made me feel terrible and they kept saying, where's the damage? Where's the damage? And I said, I don't care if there's no visible damage. I want a report because in case something happens to my child, someone's going to be held responsible. I really don't care about my car. I care more about my child at this point. So they, of course, wrote up the report. I did bring my car to a body shop because I was curious, since it looked like where they hit me, it was raining the day that they hit me, so you probably just couldn't see it because the rain was falling on the car. Well, after, I forget how much it was, what was it, like $1,200 worth of damage? I'm not paying for that out of pocket, so yeah, there was damage to my car. They didn't see it until they lifted it and they saw behind that there was some damage. There was also some damage to the paint and everything as well. But, so I got a brand new bumper. Then after that, my husband and I, we had a conversation about it. We decided that because I'm pregnant, because I'm going to have a child, we're going to get a mom car. We're going to get a different car because I had a Subaru WRX. It's really low where we live. There's a lot of bigger vehicles that are being driven on the road. So we just decided, just to be safe, at least for the first few years, we're going to get me a mom car, which I got that. So that has been very weird to adjust to because it's the first automatic car I've had in, I don't know, maybe a decade or so. I've only had one automatic car in the almost 20 years that I've been driving. Almost 20 years that I've been driving. It'll be 20 years in what, like 2 years or something? But anyway, 2-3 years, something like that. And I've been driving a manual car for most of that time except for 2 years when I had an automatic car. So it was very, very, very weird for me to get put into an automatic car again. I don't know if it's just me, but I know this is really off topic, but I feel like I have more control over the vehicle when it's a manual. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else. I feel like I have more of a connection with the car, if that makes sense. But anyway, so that happened. So of course there's a lot of changes going on right now. But because of the baby and everything, I am going to have to eventually not be able to work physically in the shop because of I can't be on my feet all day long. And of course, when I'm going to have the baby, my husband and I, we decided that I'm going to stay home with the baby for a little bit, but we are setting some stuff up and I am going to be working from home for certain things. So at least I'm able to do that, which is why, I mean, I guess if we kind of want to bring it back to what I usually talk about on this channel, which is anti-MLM and multi-level marketing companies, there are other ways to be able to work from home. I can assure you of that because there's already things in the works right now of me being able to transition and being able to work from home, not just for our business, but for other things as well. And of course, I'm going to try to work on YouTube as much as I can. I don't know how, I guess you could say, I don't know how consistent I'm going to be when the baby is here. So I'm going to try. That's why my videos and my schedule has been very all over the place. It's one week I'll have one video, the next week it's 2 videos. Then the following couple of weeks, I think there was almost a month that I didn't post because it's just, I get painfully tired, I get overworked, and I don't want to be stressed when I'm pregnant. I don't know how to not work. I don't know how to take it easy. I don't know how to take it at a snail's pace. That's just not who I am. I don't know how to take a break, which is, I know that that's kind of, you can't do that when you're pregnant and stuff, but it's just how I am. That's my personality. That's how I've always been. So that's something that I've been trying to adjust to. There have been multiple times where my husband told me to take it easy at the shop, and I actually fell asleep at the desk. There were a few times where that happened. I want to say it was probably like 3, bless you. It was probably like 3 or 4 times that happened in the first trimester. Now it's a little bit better. I get really tired. I wasn't able to really drive all that much in the first trimester. After my accident, I stopped driving after a certain time because I noticed that in the afternoon, I would get really, really tired to the point where there were times where we were driving back home. My husband was driving back home and I would fall asleep in the car. It's not that long of a drive to go home. So that was something it's been a little difficult to have to actually slow down. And when my body tells me it's time to lay down, I lay down. Because at this point, I can't think about myself. I have to think about the baby. This next portion that I want to talk about for when the baby is here, or for the next couple of months, because like I said, I'm at 22 weeks right now, but for the next couple of months, this is not to cast judgment on anybody who decides to do this. I didn't even want to announce until way later on in the pregnancy because it didn't feel right to me to announce it yet. I don't know why. Everybody's different. This is just how I am. But we're not going to be doing a gender reveal or anything like that. That's just not my thing. It's not my husband's thing. We don't want to do that. So that's the first thing. We're not going to do that. Along with that, when the baby is here, I would like to keep the baby private. My husband agreed with me. It was more so my thing that I wanted to do that, and he just agreed with me because he said, you know what, you have a point. I don't want my child, if I have pictures with the baby, I'm gonna blur the face. I don't know if it's that I've just watched too much and consumed and researched too much true crime content or what it is. Maybe it's just more of a privacy thing because I am on YouTube, even though my channel isn't that big. It's a fairly small channel. If for whatever reason this channel ever takes off and it does become something bigger than what it is right now, I want to keep my child private for a little bit. I don't know why I'm like that, but it's just my opinion, and I have no issue with other people who want to put their child out there. If they want to post pictures or videos or whatever, that's all on that person. And I'm not going to sit here and mom shame or judge other moms or judge the way someone else parents their children or anything like that, because I've already had people trying to tell me what to do, what not to do, all of these other asking me what I'm going to do with this, what am I going to do if they do this, and I'm like, the baby's not even here yet. Like, back off. I'm going to parent my child the way that I want to parent my child, but that's what we've decided. So I'm really sorry to those of you who would love to see what the baby looks like and stuff like that, but that's not something I'm going to be sharing publicly. That's going to be for private, family and friends and stuff like that. It's not going to be out there in the public. That's just my opinion, and that's just what I want to do, what my husband wants to do. I mean, he just agreed with me. He's the best. He agrees with me on a lot of things when it comes to this type of stuff, especially when I explained why I wanted to do that. So, and I don't really have to explain myself to anybody as to why I want to do that. It is our child, so it's really nobody else's business, but I just wanted to tell you guys that if you guys don't see pictures, or if you see pictures with like a face blurred or something like that, that is why. So Other than that, I really don't know what else to say in this video. This video is already way longer than I expected it to be. Other than that, the baby is healthy. I've obviously been going to my appointments and all of that. Baby has been healthy every single time. But like I said, I am starting to show quite a bit. So for social media purposes, I can't hide it anymore. In the beginning, it looked like I just ate a little bit too much. It just looked like, I had a extra couple slices of cake, or I just had like a food baby. But no, there's an actual baby in there. So that's why I wanted to announce it before people start asking. Along with that, I feel like after this, even as nervous as I was to announce it, I feel like after this, I'll feel a little bit better that you guys know, so you guys can kind of understand. Oh, another thing too is when the hair thinning, that's actually because of the pregnancy. That's why I was saying that it's a temporary thing. It's not a permanent thing, because I did talk to my doctor about it. She said it's not that common for women to lose their hair during pregnancy. It's obviously more common postpartum, but she said that during pregnancy it's not as common, but she has seen it happen to where there's been some women who have literally lost most of their hair. So, but it's not as common. So the hair thinning is from that. That's why when people were trying to tell me about using certain shampoos and stuff like that, it's a temporary thing. And I do appreciate all of the support, and I do appreciate all of the recommendations that I got. But just that you know, it's not a permanent thing. This is more of just the hormones and stuff like that, because along with that, I know that I've talked about it quite a bit, but if this is your first video watching of mine, I do have epilepsy, where my epilepsy is triggered by hormonal changes, by sleep deprivation, stress, and of course, if I decide to drink, which I'm not doing right now, but in pre-baby, that's the right terminology, pre-baby, if I wanted to drink or something like that, drink an adult beverage, then that would be kind of dangerous, because it would kind of cancel out the medication a little bit. So according to my neurologist. So because of all of that, because my seizures usually happen around hormonal times, that's been another thing where we think that that's probably kind of mixing in with it. It's just too many changes for my body. But what I will say is that I have been really good with the epilepsy. I've actually felt the best, knock on this wicker chair, I've actually felt the best being pregnant as opposed to not being pregnant with the epilepsy. I don't have twitches. I feel like I did prior to this epilepsy becoming part of my life, because I didn't always have epilepsy. I developed it as a teenager. So I feel the way that I used to feel. I feel normal again, whatever normal was for me before. This might not be someone else's normal, but I feel normal again. So the epilepsy portion has been good. I have been doing very well, but I've also been very conscious of certain things. I've been making sure that I take care of myself a little bit better, just so that I don't have a seizure while pregnant, because that can be very, very, very dangerous. What I did decide is that once the baby is here, I will share motherhood with people who want to know about that on my blog and things like that, because my blog is more of fashion and lifestyle. So, because obviously that doesn't really go with my channel. So that's going to be shared on my blog. I will share if I have any kind of struggles or anything like that, because I do think it's important to talk about the good and the bad, but I just won't be showing the baby, like the baby's face and stuff like that. So anyway, this video has been way longer than it should have been. I probably over-explained myself with way too many things. But if you have watched up to here, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Hopefully I can get my content schedule a little bit more consistent. It's been very, very, very hard with being pregnant, along with being at our other business now, and that really, it's been very, very, very busy there. It's been getting way busier lately, so it's been incredibly hard for me to bring you guys quality content, to bring you guys more deep dives, because I prefer doing deep dives. So it's been very, very, very hard for me to get all of that along with being pregnant, editing everything, it's been a little bit difficult. So please bear with me until I can get my schedule back to normal, until I can figure out, even when the baby gets here, I don't know how often I'm going to be posting. Hopefully I'll be able to still keep up with it, but I am going to pre-film a bunch of stuff, so as just that you guys have something while I'm tending to a newborn, because like I said, this was not something we planned to do. Also, both of our parents are still up north, so it's not like they're gonna be down here all the time. It's not like I'm gonna have my mom at my beck and call and being like, hey mom, can you come over and help me with this? Can you come over and help me figure out how to do this or that? Or can you watch the baby for like a second while I go do that? Unfortunately, I don't have my family here in order to do that. So the only family I have are my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, which they've already said they're going to help as much as they can. But they have their own lives, they have their own children, they have their own jobs and stuff like that too. So yeah, it's been a very interesting time. It's been kind of stressful, a little bit. It's been a little stressful. But yeah, that is the secret that I have been keeping from you guys for a very long time. 5.5 months, right? That's 5.5 months now. So I wanted to say thank you to all of you who have bared with me this entire time. I wanted to thank those of you who knew about this and didn't say anything and kept it to yourselves and understood that I just wasn't ready to announce it yet. So I wanted to say all of that, but yeah, okay. Anyway, way too long. I'll see you guys next time. This is Monica reporting to you live from a highway. Bye.